Girl from Ipanema Goes to Greenland from the B-52s. The track featured the vocals of Cindy Wilson, who co-wrote most of the band's music. She has a new solo album coming out soon. Change! This comes shortly after her first EPs. Welcome to Revenge of the 80s Radio, Cindy.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm very happy you came on, and I know you're doing this in the middle of a tour. You're very busy, but we're very happy to have you. And I want to talk about the new album and the EPs, but first, let's start from the beginning. How did you become part of what would turn into one of the great new wave party bands of all time?
Yeah, we all came to it from different paths, but it was a kind of just an explosion. It all happened at one time, too. So, Ricky and I, he's my brother, so we used to I record in his room, and I would do harmonies, and so we were used to being creative together. And Keith Strickland was an old friend of Ricky's, so he was always over the house, and so it felt real comfortable, working with them. And then that fateful night when we went to the Chinese restaurant and had a rum cocktail, and then went back and jammed, it was just history in the making. Everything just came together, and we were just laughing our butts off. And it all started just to have fun. And so we decided, to play for a friend's Valentine's Day party. And so that gave us initiative to work up the songs, and everybody loved it. We had to repeat the set again. I think we only had about 4 or 5 songs, so we just had to do them over again. And it was back in this old farmhouse type mill house, I think, and it was all really old, and everybody was dancing, and the whole floor would just bend with everybody, dancing. It was amazing to watch. But the house was rocking, definitely. So and then we were just actually extremely lucky, and just followed one foot after another until record companies were kind of courting us. We went with Warner Brothers and Island for Europe. And 40 years later, the B-52s have been around in one form or another, and it's really exciting.
You had a unique sound and an interesting format. The split vocals between you, Fred Schneider, and Kate Pearson. Harmonies between you and Pearson, and that couples with the unique percussion, keyboard, and guitar sounds of, obviously, Keith Strickland and Ricky Wilson. How did you devise this sound? Did it come together naturally, or was it something you worked on after that first gig?
I was all very experimental. Of course, Ricky and Keith, Keith was doing congos, instead of drums for a while. And then he went to the real drums. And Ricky was always a guitar player. And they would kind of help put the songs together after hours of jamming. We had to sift through all the jams and try to fit the puzzle pieces together. But there were a lot of elements. Sometimes we would just pick up instruments and just start, playing like a horn or a toy piano or whatever we came from that kind of spirit.
The band became a huge success, Cindy, and an influence to many others in the future. You, though, expanded your musical talents as well, and we're going to talk about that with the new album. But with the B-52s, you've played some keyboards, some guitar over the years as well. I guess working with Ricky was a big help with that, too.
Well, actually, Kate was the one that, was playing keyboards on that part in the early days. And later on, became more a vocalist, full time, and so I was doing, picked up on the bongos and some percussion, and singing, and there was harmonizing, and I got to do some, stepping out more solo in the B-52s, like Hero Worship and Girl from Ipanema Goes to Greenland and songs like that. But yeah, it was all just dancing and singing mostly.
Cindy, before we go to the new music, I would like to take a few moments out, if that's okay with you, of course, and remind our audience of how accomplished a musician your brother Ricky was.
I'm so proud that people are recognizing Ricky's originality, his style of open tuning, and his percussiveness on guitar. I mean, it was real radical, and back in the day, and I think I'm told very influential to a lot of other guitarists. So my kids they never got to meet Ricky, their uncle, but they're very proud of having Ricky as an uncle. So that's thrilling.
Cindy Wilson is with me on Revenge of the 80s Radio. Straight ahead, let's talk about Change, Cindy's new album. Corporeal, done earlier this year on the EP Sunrise. It's the cover of a broadcast tune by Cindy Wilson. She's our guest on Revenge of the 80s Radio, and we're talking about her new album, Change. While your bandmates, Cindy, Kate Pearson and Fred Schneider, have also released very good solo albums, yours is extremely different. And I mean, I guess extremely is the proper word from the B-52's fare.
Yeah, well, it's not a solo album in my book per se, because I'm working with such really great artists on this. It's a combination of all of us working together and some exceptional, we got guitar playing and engineering and the production value is really fantastic on it. I'm really excited about it.
Well, you did put an excellent team of musicians together.
Drumming.
well, you did put an excellent team of musicians together. So tell our listeners about the band.
Well, we have Lemuel Hayes on drums and Ryan Monahan on guitar and bass, and Suni on keyboards and guitar, and Marie on violin, and it's a great group. We're having wonderful. People are talking great things about the show, so it's fantastic.
Cindy Wilson is with me on Revenge of the 80s Radio in Change, the new album, of course. I've read that you and the band described the music as, shall we say, turbo chill.
Yes, actually, somebody coined that term, and we embraced it thoroughly. Turbo chill.
It's an oxymoron, fact, but it's perfect.
Yeah, we love it.
How would you describe the sound in your own words?
And I think it's very environmental and atmospheric, and it's really ear candy. And I love putting it on and driving down the highway and listening to it. It's got a momentum that continues from the beginning to the end.
And your vocal style is also much different from your B-52's music. You're softer, you're higher, you show an incredible amount of range, something that's going to really impress your longtime fans.
Well, it's turned out so well, and we're very proud of the record. And I want to thank Kill Rockstar Records for picking us up and being our partner on this. And it comes out in November, so we're thrilled about that.
November 17th from Kill Rockstars Records. Have you had this range naturally all along, or was it something you developed as a singer over the years?
Yeah, we've always, there was no limits in the B-52s. I got to, do extremely high notes and extremely low notes and kind of jungle sounds and barks and all sorts of fish sounds on rock.
Gotta like the fish
on rock
sounds.
You want a fish sound?
Why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Darn, that's good. I love the fish sound.
Did I break the machine?
Not at all. I got to have more fish sounds on the show. We need that. I just have to.
Well, anyway, so it was fun. Like I said, I've always been playful with my singing, and this was another way of expression, and I love it.
It's a very different side of you, Cindy. I did want to ask, why did you call the album Change?
Well, obviously, it's very different from what I'm doing in the B-52s. It's a whole new head. It's an approach to working in the studio, but the similarity is I'm working with great people, and it's very, very that are very easy to work with, and I respect them a whole lot. So and then you get really good stuff that way.
The production is exquisite as well, Cindy. And you mentioned that just a little while ago. You harmonize with yourself, and they do a really good job of that. Memory is one of the tracks that stand out in that department.
Yes, there's and also Ryan Monahan and Suni were singing on the record as well. You know, that was really fun to have their voices. It's gorgeous the way it turned out.
Lyrically, there's a lot of differences as well. We discussed your voice, we discussed the music, the electronica mixed with the turbo chill, mixed with a little bit of nod to new wave. It's a lot different, but lyrically, it's a change as well. What are some of the difference between B-52's Cindy Wilson, again lyrically, and Cindy Wilson with the new band?
We approached it it's been going to a music school to me. And everybody brought songs in to work on. And so I just was glad to do them. And that way you keep yourself open, and it's like I said, a big, huge learning experience. And I've had so much fun doing their music.
Cindy Wilson is with me on Revenge of the 80s Radio. While fans of the B-52s will learn a lot more about you as a singer and musician through Change, Cindy, what do you want them? I mean, what do you want them to learn most about you through the album?
Well, I just want everybody to have a good time and listen to it with open minds and just have a good time.
You're currently touring, Cindy. Where are you headed?
I'm going to Pittsburgh next, and then we're going to go to Toronto.
You'll be all around North America, and you also announced a new date in Brooklyn on December 7th.
Yes, yeah. I'm very excited about coming back up to the New York area. That's
going to be a lot of fun. You'll be in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yes. So it should be a good time. I'm glad we're getting to do 2 nights.
November 17th, 2017, that's when Change comes out with Kill Rock Stars Records. Cindy Wilson, I want to thank you for coming on to Revenge of the 80s Radio with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Cindy's website, if you want to find out more about what's going on with her, is cindywilsonb52s.com. That's cindywilsonb52s.com. Don't stick the hyphen in there. You'll get the wrong page. Or one of those 404 things or something like that. Cindy, let's play a track from Change. Mystic.
All right.
Brand new from Cindy Wilson on Revenge of the 80s Radio.